welcome to the channel. Great to see you here again. Thank you all for returning, and if you're new here, well, you know what to do if you like this video. So this channel is called Sunshine and Rain, and it's called that for a reason. And if you've been watching, or if you've seen the trailer for this channel, you know what it's all about. It's not all about just sunshine, okay? It's not all about being all the happy glory positive things in life. There's also the dark side of life as well that we have to face up to, the shadow side. And the reason for that is life throws us curveballs at times, okay? And I've been told for years, and I bought into it for years, that we should get rid of the negative out of our lives. We should eradicate all the negative and just focus on the positive. However, that doesn't really work out, does it? Because like I said, life throws us curveballs. No matter how much you try to get rid of the negative, it always comes back. There's always something at the end of our lives that tells us otherwise. So that's the shadow side of our lives. I mean, the scientists, these clever people, have worked out that we have something like 80% of our thoughts are negative. That's a lot of thoughts, especially when you think that we are thinking hundreds, thousands of thoughts a day, and 80% of those are negative. Is that a balance? That's not really a balance, is it? Or is it? Why are we thinking so many negative thoughts? Why is it only a small portion of the thoughts being positive? Well, when you think about it, the way we're fed stuff through the media, through entertainment, through our own little thoughts, our experiences, how we view things, it is mainly from a negative perspective. You take a soap opera. 1 minute it's all happy dappy. The next thing it's all to do with heartbreak and fighting and God knows what. And that's within, say, half an hour. You get such drama condensed, and we start to live our lives like that. If we constantly watch things like that, it affects us, affects our thinking. We expect that to happen in real life as well. We get the media. The news mainly focuses only on the negative, the sensational stuff, the stuff that scares us, all about death and destruction, because they know that gets viewers. We're attracted to that. We're attracted to the dark side, to the shadow side of life. Occasionally they'll put something positive up. It's not very often. The same with the films, the movies that we watch. A lot of it's about death and destruction. Yes, there's a good side, there's a positive side, and the baddie always gets beaten and the good guy wins. But it's all the drama that leads up to that, all the death and destruction and the horror, the such negative thinking. And we soak that all in. We soak it all in. And it's no wonder then that 80% of our thoughts are negative. Can we get a balance? We need to get a balance. We need to have a balance in our lives. Does that mean then that we should have, like the yin-yang, 50-50, black and white, nicely balanced? But look at the yin-yang symbol. Look at it closely. What do you see? You see little circles of the opposite colour in each side. In the white, you see a little black circle. In the black, you see a little white circle. So it's not 50-50. With this scales, if they like, the temperance card here represents the scales, doesn't it? The balance. It's not 50-50. Is it 60-40? 70-30? 80-20? Perhaps our balance is more tipped towards negative than positive. Maybe we need to turn that around. Maybe we need to have more 80% positive and 20% negative to maintain the right balance that we want, so that we can live the happy kind of lives that we want, so we can live our dreams. Yes, we still have negative things to deal with, but we can live more balanced lives, happier lives. The fact of the matter is, we allow ourselves to think too much. We allow ourselves to be drawn in by experiences of others. We worry about things that happen across the other side of the world that we have no control over. We wake up at night wondering what we can do about it when we can't do anything. And that frustrates us. That frustrates us because we know that's out of our control. And we don't like being out of control. And that creates within us a lot of pressure to do something, to defend ourselves, to put up defences around us. And those defences cause a lot of negativity as well, because they shut people out. Perhaps people that we could learn from, that would bring great joy and positivity into our lives. But we shut them out. We put fences around ourselves, around our homes, around ourselves, around our minds, around our hearts. And that in itself can lead to conflicts, can't it? We're constantly battling, standing up for ourselves. It might be minor battles, might be major battles, but we're still standing up for ourselves, for what we believe in, and we're not always right. Just because you are right doesn't mean to say you have to be right. And at the end of the day, we get so exhausted, we can't go on anymore. Our hearts get broken, we get betrayed, we get backstabbed, and we just give up. We just give up many times and just accept, yeah, this is how life is. We can't change it, so we'll just carry on. We can't change life, we can't do anything. It's always going to be like this. It's been like this for generations, it's going to be like this for generations more. We can't change anything, but that couldn't be further from the truth. We can change things. But in the meantime, we put on a face, don't we? We put on a mask. We don't let people know how we truly feel. I've done this for years. Been an actor. Playing a part on a world stage. Well, inside, I was feeling totally different. For some, that can develop into things like depression, great anxiety, panic attacks and things like that. For others, it's just a loneliness and unhappiness, and that was more my side, I think. I would say I was putting on a happy-go-lucky face. Everything was well in my world, faking it till I make it. It never works, guys. Fake it till you make it never works. I call this the selfie card in this particular deck, because this is the would-be entrepreneur standing in front of a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or the big mansion, saying, this is my life, this is what you can get if you join my business. They're not his, they're not hers. That's not their lifestyle. They're faking it, giving you a wrong impression. And that's how many of us live today. It doesn't have to be hiding a serious illness or anything like that, mentally or physically. It's just not showing your feelings, not showing your emotions how they truly are. It's hiding from the world. It's building those barriers your defenses. But guys, there's always hope. Always. No matter how dark that tunnel is, a light will find a way in there. There's always hope. So never, 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 never give up. No matter how deep down that party pit, that pity pit you are, there's always hope. A beam of light will shine down and show you the footholds, the holes in the walls that you can use to clamber out back into the sunlight. So you can start to rebuild your life, turn your life around and journey forward. You'll find that balance that you need in your life. Yes, it means hard work. Yes, it means changing your attitude. Yes, it means thinking more positive than negative. But it also means embracing the shadow side of yourself. Meditate helps. Deep thinking, sitting down, contemplating helps. But it's embracing who you really are, your genuine self, your authentic self. Embrace your shadow side. Don't reject it. Let it become part of you. Love it, accept it, because it's part of you. It makes you whole. It's your yang to your yin. It's your yin to your yang. Without it, you're incomplete. You're nothing. You need that shadow side to live, to be complete, to be able to carry on life the way you want it, to be able to get all these wonderful things that you want in life. You need both sides of the coin. So don't resist your shadow side. Embrace it. That's what this channel is about. It's helping you to do that, hopefully. Although, I'll be honest, I'll focus more on the positive side, because that's how I am. I prefer the positive side, but I know that the negative side is there as well, and it needs to be embraced, because it's part of life. As I say in the trailer for this channel, the sun, that helps us to live, gives us life, but it's the rain that helps us to grow. And we do have situations where too much sun causes deserts. It burns things up, forest fires. Too much rain can cause deluge, landslides, lots of destruction. And when air comes involved with it as well, you know, it doesn't help much. But we've got to find the right balance. We've got to find that right balance in our lives between the light and dark siders. And it doesn't have to be 50-50. It can be 80-20, 80% positive, 20% negative. It can be 70-30, 60-40. But if you have the positive in favour, then you'll be getting the life that you want, successes that you want, the victories that you want. Yeah. And that's not even today's reading. Oh, it's more just like an introduction. I prepared this because I was thinking I want to do more on the shadow work side of things. So if it's got you thinking, that's good, because the next part is going to be looking at more the shadow side, looking at the fears. What fears are blocking you from the success that you want? What is stopping you in your thoughts, in your actions, how you are presenting yourself to the world? What big changes are coming, or that you're scared of? Why are you scared of this? What are your fears? And why are you without hope? Or why are you scared or frightened to hope that things are going to get better? These are kind of things I'm going to be looking at perhaps in this reading, depends. What I'm going to do is I'll just pull 3 cards and talk about those cards in relation to, you know, in the Celtic cross you have card number 7, position number 7, that's about your fears. In the truth, cross of truth, you have card number 4, that's also about your obstacles, your blockers. So in line with those, that's what I'm going to be talking about, and I'm going to start that in a moment when I shift the camera around. Okay guys, thank you for staying with me, thank you, welcome again, once again. I'm going to use the Gregory Scott Tarot for this particular reading. Like I said, I'm going to pull 3 cards and let's just discuss them as in regards to fears, how they could be fears in your life which are blocking you from your success which you truly deserve. So what is it perhaps that is blocking the collective in their lives? To come out, the Wheel of Fortune and the Page of Cups has come out, so that's interesting. So I'm going to pull one more card. So what does the collective need to know, please, about their fears? What's blocking their fears? What do they need to know for their highest and greatest good? What fears are blocking their success, please? There we go. I'm not reading reversals in this particular reading, so we have the 5 of Swords. That's quite an apt card, I think, as well. Okay, so we've got the Wheel of Fortune. So how could that be a fear? What are you scared of when the Wheel of Fortune comes up? Normally the Wheel of Fortune is a positive card because it's turning, isn't it? It's turning in your favour. Going, even if it's in reverse, it's still turning in your favour, although perhaps a bit slower, but it's still turning in your favour. It's not a card that means that you're going to lose your fortune or anything like that. The general meaning of it is that if it's in reverse, that you're still going to receive good fortune, but perhaps not as quick as you expected. And the same when the upright, it means, you know, fortune is coming. I know in the Gregory Scott Tarot, when he's got like the heaven and hell kind of situation, that's his interpretation. That if it's in reverse, then you know you're going into bad fortune, and it's upright. But that's his interpretation. You can interpret this card that way if you wish. And perhaps some of you do. You see this card and you know it has a fear for you. And obviously, as this is a general reading, not everyone, this won't be a message for everyone, but some of you out there, perhaps it's a fear of success. So somehow you're blocking your success because you're scared to be successful. You don't know how to handle that success. What do you do when you've got a lifestyle, a millionaire lifestyle? What do you do? How do you behave yourself? What do you buy? What do you wear? Where do you live? You've got all these imagined worries going on. Then you start to justify staying where you are. I know this, guys, because I've been here. I used to fear success. And mainly for me, the main blocker or the main instigator of that fear of success was my hatred for money. I hated money with a passion. I used to say it out loud. I hate money with a passion. I no longer say that. I mean, not in the same way, you know. And that came from what I was taught, that money was the root of all evil. And nothing could be further from the truth. But what it also came from for me, was based on that, is what people did with money. How they funded wars, committed crime for money, murdered people. I mean, I grew up in Northern Ireland during the Troubles. I wasn't born there, but I grew up there. And I saw a lot of destruction. I lost people that I knew in that troublesome time. But I also knew that big businessmen and women around the world were fueling that conflict with their money. They were buying arms, using their millions to supply bomb making material and guns and ammunition to help fuel one side against the other. And they were alright. They were off in far off lands, not being bothered by the conflict, not being bothered by the bombings and the shootings and the assassinations. And that created a hatred for money. And that hatred of money lasted for decades with me. So I blamed money in that way. I was blocking the energy of money from coming into my life in any great way, because I thought that if I had that amount of money, I would turn dark. I would use it for unwanted purposes, and I would use it for bad things, evil things. That the power of having all that money would turn your mind. You may say, well, it's a silly thought, but many of us think that way. That once we're successful, that we turn that way. And we see people, even in the news today, whose power and authority fueled by money has gone to their heads. And they do silly things, stupid things, horrible things. But money, I've learned now, isn't the root of all evil. It's a tool. And it's up to the person who's got that tool how they use it. Okay. You can use a hammer to hammer in a nail, or you can use it to bash someone's head in. It's your choice. And obviously the better choice, more positive choice, would be to use it for the purpose that it was designed for. You could use a garden rake to clear the soil of weeds that are lying on the surface, maybe some stuff, leaves and things. But it wouldn't be very good for breaking up cement. You would damage it. But if you choose to use it that way, that is your choice. It's not a very good analogy, I know, but you get the idea. So money is a tool. Success is more than money, though. Success isn't just about having a big house, a car, a certain lifestyle. Success is about achievement. What have you achieved on your journey? Success and wealth come in many different guises. It's not just material, it's also spiritual, physical, mental, emotional. On your journey, how many people have you helped to achieve the same as what you've achieved, or helped to improve their lives in some way? So fear of success comes in many forms as well, and you could be blocking yourself from achieving the success you want and you deserve, but you're blocking it because you kind of, on another level, you're frightened of it. You're frightened to allow that success into your life. Maybe it's because you're frightened of the change it will bring in you. So you go back to the status quo. You justify reasons why you shouldn't have something. I don't want that amount of money, I'll just spend it on stuff anyway and lose it all. Not pointing out a big car like that. It's a gas guzzler. It'd be ruining the environment. What do I want a big house with 6 bedrooms for? I live on my own. That kind of thing. You may be telling yourself that verbally, vocally, or internally, unconsciously. So I think this card as a fear represents fear of success. And that's something you can overcome, obviously through meditation, through loads of workshops out there online, that you can take part in that help you to overcome this blockage, this fear of success. It's law of attraction. You could use law of attraction as a wonderful way of overcoming that kind of fear of success, because it helps you to realize that the words that you are using create the thoughts that you think, which in turn generate the feelings or vibrations, which are then matched by the universe, which are attracting the results that you bring into your life. So if you realize that you're thinking in a negative way, that's the negative vibrations you're sending out to the universe, and it's attracting more of that into your life. So using law of attraction, you can turn that around. You don't have to totally sanitize all negativity out of your life. You embrace it. As I said in the first part of this video, you embrace it. You turn it into your advantage. Okay? Well, Page of Cups. Page of Cups is normally an emotional, like a young person, perhaps a child, or someone who's quite emotional, playful, your inner child. So this may be a fear to do with how you present yourself to the world. Perhaps you would like to be more joyful and more like that inner child, excitable, excited, but you think that's a weakness. You're looking upon it as a weakness to express those kind of emotions. I'm not a comedian. Why do I want to be laughing and joking for? I'm not getting paid for that. So you tend to be more serious, more dour, more unemotional, at least on the outside. But in reality, this is you on the inside. You're that young, playful person. You want that joy and that happiness in your life, but you're blocking it. You're blocking it by putting some kind of barrier around your heart. This could also be relationship related. If you find it difficult to express your emotions, so you want your soulmate, but you're blocking it by not allowing yourself to be emotional, by not allowing yourself to express love. Just because you're a bloke doesn't mean to say you can't cry. That's a message for someone out there that needed to hear that. Crying is not a weakness. It's actually a sign of strength, because it shows that you are in touch with yourself. Emotionally, you are stable. And it shows that you share and feel emotions, and you're not cold, aloof, unemotional. Someone out there needed to hear that. For some of you, this may also be, perhaps you're new in like a business world, or a new career path, and you feel that you can't move forward success-wise. You won't be successful because you don't know enough. You haven't got the education. You haven't got the qualifications. So you can't be successful. And that is an institutionalized kind of thinking that's been forced upon us for generations. You need an education to get on. No, you don't. You need a basic education, yeah, you need to know how to read, write and count. But you don't need bits of paper with seals on from universities or colleges. You don't need degrees, you don't need certificates, all that kind of caper to be successful. They're nice to have, they're nice to look on the wall, you know, as a justification for what you do, if that's what you need. But in reality, majority of those certificates are no longer valid after a while because you've moved on. You've learned more, you've gone past that stage. They're just memories, they're just like photos, they're just memories of what you did. Past achievements, they're reminders of your past achievements. And yes, they give you that certain kind of pleasure, but you don't need them to be successful. Richard Branson didn't need them. And he built up his Virgin Empire, starting with newspapers, student newspapers, in a record shop and so on. Look where he is now. And he's dyslexic. Lord Alan Sugar started on a market stall, selling computer bits and other bits and pieces, but then he got into computers. I think it was Atari and stuff like that. Look where he is now. I don't think he was university educated. He was an East End lad, East End of London. He was a barrow boy. You don't need all the qualifications. You don't need to wait until you've got all the qualifications before you can be successful. You can start being successful while you're doing your qualifications. Mark Zuckerberg was still at university when he created Facebook, along with his co-partner. So you can still be intelligent and not have qualifications. Well, left school without any qualifications. That's because I had to leave to help the family, but it's a different story. But I since then got lots of qualifications in different things, including journalism and engineering and stuff like that. Not that any of them do me any good these days, if I'm being honest. But they were achievements. You don't need qualifications to be success. So if some of you are waiting until you've got certain qualifications, maybe you just started something. Let's say, as an example, right? Because you've got a young man here who's quite fashionable, you know. Let's say you're in the fashion industry. You just started, you know, and you could be a young person, or you could be a more mature person who decided to take that course. And you're saying, well, you know, I can't put my designs out there. I can't approach other people, you know, companies and things with my designs because I'm not qualified. Rubbish. Of course you can. Even if they don't accept you, they'll become aware of you. They'll have you on the files. They may like what you do. They may even take over your education and do it in-house. That does happen. Not very often, but it does happen. Or maybe you want to write a book and you think you've got to do a creative writing course to do the book. Helps, but you don't need to. You can still write the book and offer it to publishers. You know, you might get a lot of rejections, then one might pick it up. Or you can self-publish. And it goes, you know, gets to number one on Amazon or whatever, in whatever particular genre you're in. So you don't have to wait until you're perfect. You don't have to wait to have all the qualifications to be successful. So if that's what you're waiting for, then just do what it is you want to do. Get started now. Get started now. Don't wait until it's not too late, but you know, don't wait until you've missed the boat. Too many people have done that in the past. We would have had a fantastic idea, and they've waited and waited and waited, and then when they decide to implement it, somebody else has already got that idea and taken it and made multi-millions out of it, built a huge company out of it. Because your ideas, don't forget, go out into the collective consciousness. And if you don't act on your good ideas, what you feel are good ideas, whether they're good or bad, but if you feel they're good, if you don't act upon them, somebody else will. The universe will give you a certain length of time, and if the universe sees that you're not doing anything with that fantastic idea they have provided you with, they're going to give it to someone else. It's as simple as that. So don't wait out. Same with love, same with relationships. Now's the time. Don't wait. Yes, they might be younger than you. Yes, they might be older than you. But if the feelings are there, what's stopping you at least from asking? Fear of rejection is something else I'm getting here. Fear of rejection. Fear of rejection stops so many people from being successful because they're overthinking things. They think too much of what people might think of them. They rely too much on other people's views of how they are, how they should be, and so on. It's people pleasing. So that you don't need to please anyone except yourself. Get out there, be rejected. That will strengthen you. It's like that song, isn't it? What doesn't kill you, strengthens you. Or words to that effect. If it doesn't kill you, you're going to move on. You're going to become stronger. Every failure is a stepping stone to success. That's what you have to remember. Every single failure you have bolsters you and takes you up a further level. It's like, let's say you back in the days before ladders and things like that, to get up a side of a cliff or to get up a mound or something, you used to put rocks and stones on top of each other. And yes, some of those would fall down again, but then they'd carry on building until they could use that then to get to the next level or next ledge on the cliff or whatever. It's like anything. It's built step by step. So failures are stepping stones. They're lungs on the rudder to the level of success that you want. So don't allow yourself to be thrown back by rejection. God knows how many times I've been rejected. Now, I used to be in sales, as in retail, as in network marketing. I did that for close on 30 years, different companies. And one of the things that we were taught, was no is never a final answer. It just means not yet. And rejection is exactly the same. It doesn't mean a final no. It just means not yet. Just means that either you need to find someone else to offer yourself to, if it's in a relationship, or business-wise, or work-wise, whatever, project-wise. Maybe you just need to jiggle something around with your widget that you're trying to sell, whatever it happens to be. Some adjustments just need to be made, some tweaks maybe need to be made, and then you can offer yourself again in whatever way, shape or form that happens to be for you. Rejection is never the end. Alright, so overall I think that was more to do with fear of rejection. The Five of Swords, fear of conflict, isn't it? Fear of conflict, and it's minor. I mean, yes, you have got here this king humiliating this page or serf or whatever it happens to be. So there's a sense of humiliation here as well. Fear of humiliation. This also ties in with fear of rejection as well in that sense, but this is more coming up against the bully perhaps, or confrontation, fear of confrontation. You'd rather be the yes person rather than the no person. You'd rather blend in rather than stand out. That kind of thing. So you don't want to put yourself forward. You've got a fear of being in the limelight. And that could be down to shyness. That could be something that's happening in childhood wise, where you have perhaps been out in the limelight and you put yourself forward and like many children do, and then you got slapped down by a parent or guardian or someone else who's influential in your life at that time. So you can't do that. Who do you think you are, kind of situation? And it's knocked you back and it's kept you back. Simple message here. Be you. Be authentic. Be who you want to be, not what others want you to be. You don't have to conform to anyone or anything. Be a non-conformist. Be a rebel. Now, I'm not saying you should go out there and be like Extinction Rebellion or the guys in Hong Kong or the other activists around the world who are causing a lot of rampage and stuff like that. Or causing, if you want to be an activist of some kind, then do that. But remember that if you are going to break stuff, if you are going to burn stuff, if you're going to cause some kind of destruction, then there are consequences to pay for that. And that is your choice, that's your journey. But be you, be genuine, stand up for what you believe in. If this is the Seven of Wands, that's exactly what I'll be saying. Stand up for yourself, confronting things, blending into the background, being the yes person, doesn't get you anywhere, doesn't get you success, gets you passed over, you don't get seen. If you want success, you need to stand out in the crowd. You need to be able to look people in the eye and be defiant. And show that confidence that you've got, that steel backbone that you've got. And let people know that you're there. And yes, you are confronting them. Because 9 times out of 10, you confront a bully, they'll back down. They'll back down. Because they don't like confrontation. They hide their confrontation through being bullies. So hopefully you're not a bully. Hopefully you're not a bully and hiding the fact that you don't like confrontation by overcompensating. So it's not very good being a bully either. Humiliating people. There's no enjoyment out of that, and karma has a funny way of repaying that. I can be like that. I know I realise I'm talking a lot about myself, but I'm going from my own personal experience, and sharing my personal experience hopefully will help you as well. But I don't like confrontational things, myself. I'll be honest. If I can avoid a conflict of some kind, I will. So I grew up with too much of it, I grew up, I've seen too much of it during growing up and through my army days as well. I saw too much of it. I don't want it anymore. But I'll still stand up for myself. I'll still be a rebel. I am a rebel in that way. I will not back down at times. And that can be the dark side of me, because I can be very, very stubborn, being a Scorpio. Dig my heels in, or dig my stinger in. Whatever way you want to put it. I'm going to have my claws flashing. But at times, you have to yield, you have to compromise, and it's knowing when to do that that maintains the balance. Knowing when to confront or create a conflict, or when to get involved with a confrontation or a conflict, and when not to. Knowing That is key. Avoiding all conflict, avoiding all confrontation doesn't get you noticed, doesn't get you anywhere, as I've said before. A purple cow, like it says in the book, a purple cow will stand out in the herd. You'll spot it straight away. Still just a cow, but it looks totally different from all the others. You know, that's how you get yourself noticed. If you want the success that you say you want in your life, and you're being non-confrontational and avoiding all conflicts, then perhaps you need to redress that. Find the balance, like I said. Pick your fights. If you're going to fight, pick your fights. Pick the ones you know you can win. But do it in a positive way. Do it in a way which isn't bullying, like I said, or it isn't really in your face. That's causing others perhaps to feel humiliated and so on. You don't want that. All you want to do is show, look, this is what I believe in, and I'm standing up for it. I don't agree with what you're saying, and this is why. And you know what? You'll learn respect that way. So if you've got a fear of being humiliated or of avoiding, being involved with a conflict or a confrontation because perhaps you've got a fear of being humiliated, that kind of situation perhaps has happened in the past, like I said, where you've tried to put yourself forward and you've always been bullied or whatever because you were different. You can turn that around. You can get professional help on that if that's still the case. Get professional help to help you with that, because that is, especially if it's deep rooted. I was bullied at school. I was small, weedy. What did I do? I fought back. I went into berserker rage and fought back. And I took on the biggest guy in the group. They left me alone after that. I'm not recommending doing that, by the way, but that's what worked for me. And I've got a reputation. You don't want to go near him. He's a scorpion. He might be small, but he's got a big stinger. And that's not an euphemism. Alright. It is about picking your fights. It's knowing when to rebel, when to stand up for yourself, when to confront, when to be involved with a conflict, and when not. It's finding that balance. But don't hide yourself away if you want success. Success is going to push you into the limelight. Success is going to shine a spotlight on you in one way, shape or form. It may not put you in, say, the public world stage, but you could become well known within your field. There's different ways that you come into the spotlight. You can still get attention and so on. If you want, you can hide behind a different name, a pseudonym, like many authors do. You might not show a true picture of yourself on Facebook, on your profile and stuff like that. There's different ways you can do that. I'm not saying it's recommended way, but if that makes you feel better, then you can do it that way, where you can still put your point of view across. The only thing I would say is don't become an armchair warrior, because that was also a negative side to it, becoming an armchair warrior. You don't want that. That won't get you respect, that won't get you success. So don't accept this kind of situation. Don't allow yourself to be bullied, don't allow yourself to be humiliated. Stand up for yourself. You've got 2 feet, stand up on them. Mentally as well as physically. Right guys, that is it. That's the readings. different. I enjoyed doing that and enjoyed sharing those thoughts with you. Let me know how it resonated with you. Let me know in the comments below, you know, how this has resonated with you and whether you would like to have something like this again. So I need some feedback. This is a growing channel. It's a very, very young channel. It's a growing channel, and I really would appreciate the feedback on this. So until next time, guys, you know how to support me. I don't need to tell you. If you'd like to do that, I'll be very, very much appreciative of that. So until next time, guys, see you again. Bye bye.